Hello, friends and lovers. What's up? It's Haelian. We're back with another episode of Hades. That's right, alone. YouTube exclusive. Can you believe it? Anyway, let's talk about the run. It's going to be me explaining more about the game than the usual banter, probably. I like to sometimes give out these more, I guess you call it educational. So if you got questions, make sure you ask me. In fact, I'm going to try to answer some of the more frequently asked questions that I get in this video. I thought it might be fun to kind of give it like a FAQ style, but we'll do that in the middle of the run. Let's talk about the setup here. We're going to use Aspect of Poseidon. Your special dislodges your cast from foes, and the cast damage gets a 50% bonus. It's a pretty decent aspect. The dislodge thing, like, isn't always a big deal. It just really depends. You know, some casts don't actually lodge into the enemies. That's one of the reasons why. The other reason is just, I don't know, sometimes it just doesn't really matter. If you wanted to dislodge cast faster, you could use Aspect of Hera. And then it's kind of hard for that cast damage, the 50% passive, to beat something like Achilles, where you get 150% damage bonus. So Achilles is kind of like the king of cast damage bonuses. Then you got Beowulf, that was totally different. But Poseidon can't fit into a particular place. So what are we aiming for here? I can't guarantee it's going to happen, but what we're going to try, and we're going to talk about how we kind of edge towards certain builds here. We're going to open up the codex. We're going to aim for a phalanx shot to start. And you can look on the right side if you've never opened up the codex. We're going to go for a phalanx shot. Then we need Zeus so that we can get lightning phalanx. This is one that I don't get often. It's a very particular duo boon, right? So it just doesn't happen super commonly. So we need one of the Zeus boons there, the attack, the special, the dash, or the call. And we have to get Athena's cast there as well. Some other follow-ups that would be nice, but tough to kind of squeeze in, would be something like Mirage Shot would be good. That's where you get the double cast, basically. Second one deals 30% damage. Even Parting Shot's okay, just to get some backstab extra damage there. And that way we already have the Athena requirement for it. We just need something from Aphrodite to add on to it. And that's pretty decent too. Maybe Deadly Reversal? Probably not, though, because you need Athena's attack or special there. So some of these dual boons are very particular. It's not necessarily just get a what we call a core boon, which is attack, special, dash, cast. Sometimes they actually do have very particular requirements, just like Deadly Reversal. The other big one is Merciful End, where you can see you have to have the attack and or special for Ares/Athena in order to get that to work at all. That is the only way to make it happen. Anyway, let's start to hop into the run. I haven't even checked the mirror yet, so let's take a look. Now we're going to leave on Shadow Presence for the hope of getting Parting Shot, kind of for fun. I do plan to do 32 heat. We definitely want to use Infernal Soul if we're going to bother to go with Aspect of Poseidon, because that way we can dislodge to cast ourselves instead of trying to wait for it to come off a cooldown via this. We definitely don't want high confidence at 32 heat. The extra health is just way better. If we're starting with Athena and we know we're going for Zeus after this, then you really want to do Family Favorites, Privilege Status. I mean, these are two gods that don't have automatic status effects. You would need a follow-up boon for that to happen. So I kind of don't want to do that. I think we do God's Pride. You know what? I'll go for God's Legacy. It's fine. I'm thinking, I don't know. I kind of like prefer God's Pride as a general. You can kind of just go either way, whatever you have more fun with. Let's take a look at the pact. I did already set up. This is kind of just for me. I have lots of videos going over the pact and what you should use for trying to beat 32 heat for yourself. So don't worry too much about what I have here. I wouldn't even say to like copy and paste this for yourself. Check out my 32 heat guide if you want. I'll talk about how we kind of skirt towards getting specific things. And, you know, it's really just about abusing the god keepsakes. They're really powerful if you choose to use them. They're probably almost too powerful in some ways, you know? Oh, wow, we got epic. Nice. Sweet. Usually with God's Legacy on, that's not going to happen. And boom, we're casting already. We are already casting. Nectar. Very good. Very nice. I kind of mean to... I've meant to show kind of like secret tips/tricks about Hades. I'm thinking of a video on it, and one of them is about the give up mechanism in the game. And that's where you can choose to start a run over, and you essentially have the same start. There's a bit of nuance to it. I'm going to pause buffer here because we do have tight deadline on, and it is a 5-minute deadline, meaning it's tight. So that's why when I'm thinking about doors, I'm going to want to pause it. We will take chaos.
Might as well.
And so you can get cast damage or an extra cast here. That'd be saucy. But yeah, give up lets you kind of start a run over, which means you would get the same boon or hammer, at least in chamber 1. Oftentimes that would be all you'd get, actually. Extra backstab damage? Am I really going to go that hard for it? It would be funny, but would it be good? Probably not very good, honestly. But it would be funny. It would be funny, plus the curse isn't that painful. Hey! You have to go right into Zeus here. That's what we need. When it comes to creating a build, yeah, it's all about, you got to aim for something in particular to start, and then you're going to want to utilize the god keepsakes. I understand that it's probably, it feels counterintuitive to use something like the god keepsakes versus, say, the chthonic coin purse that gives you extra money, or mom palm, as I call it, because mom palm just gives you extra palms as you go. It just feels like you actually get value out of it. But the keepsakes, they do guarantee that seeing that god next just once, and they up their average rarity as well too. Athena's blessings have a 20% chance to be rare or better. Added bonus there. We'll just take the dash, that's fine. Zeus's dash is good. Now, a lot of people will think that the hammer, you just never avoid a hammer. Hammers are always good, they're always amazing, they're always useful. I guess this is a cast build, so essentially, well, I guess I can't say never ever. There are technically some hammers that kind of help a cast build, but it's going to be more indirect. Oh, hello. What are you doing? How'd you get over here? Woo! There we go. So we're going to keep palming the cast because that's where the main strength is going to be. If you've never used a cast build, yeah, you're going to need the palm them. You're going to need to palm them, and most of the casts kind of have not necessarily a required duo boon to pair with them, but there's often a duo boon that helps significantly if you do get it. Woo! Thinking about like Trippy Flare, which is the Dionysus cast. Let's see, we got Artemis. Artemis's duos aren't amazing. You can get Lightning Rod. I'm brainstorming here. What are the duo boons that we can get? And for Artemis, we can get the Lightning Rod, but you can't get the Athena one like we talked about from looking at the codex. Yeah, I'll do the trial. You probably don't see me do trials super often. But we could get things like Jolted is a very strong boon. I kind of forgot we were in a trial, by the way. Athena trials are slightly easier, so we're going to take Zeus first. Boom, there's Jolted, easiest game of my life. Don't really want to consider that swap it. The Zeus cast is actually quite powerful in this aspect. It's without without that dislodge, it's pretty painful to use Zeus's cast. It just doesn't really deal enough damage to make it feel super meaningful. So the combo of passive cast damage and the dislodge effect, it's actually really nice. Come on, baby. Okay, there we go. We'll look for the exposed boon here. Again, to kind of... Yeah, we'll take common. That's good enough. You can't get duo boons in trials. I guess I didn't say that, I realized. No duo boons in trials. Mystery boon. For another palm. Pause buffering again. We do need boons to sell for Underworld Customs, which is one of the packs of punishment. Huh. We got stuck with Demeter. Her duo boons don't do amazingly well here, so I'm not gonna think about it. I know that there's, what is it called? Stubborn Roots, which is hopefully not something I would need for this run. And then you got Cold Fusion, which is a thing. It's okay. It's kind of mediocre. You know what? I will kind of go for that. In case it happens, since we already have Jolted, which is a requirement for Cold Fusion. It makes it so it no longer wears out on its own. We don't really want Ares in here. It doesn't wear out on its own when the enemy attacks. Instead, Jolted will only wear off after a certain amount of time. The thing is, and I always blast Cold Fusion, and the reason mostly is because if you're able to apply Jolted in some way, chances are you're reapplying it constantly. Whether you know it or not, perhaps, you know? Okay, my friends. But yeah, feel free to ask questions in the comments if you got them. If they're smart, if they're stupid, whatever. Consider this that opening During with that awkward orientation where the dude says there are no stupid questions, and then they give you a weird look when you ask a stupid question, you know? You know how it be. Let's see. Do I go for a hammer now? Sure, we'll get it out of here. We'll get it out. Thanatos. Ooh, another chaos. Could be nice. This is actually the last chamber of Tartarus. The last chamber of Tartarus is always going to be chamber 12. We can technically push back when we see Meg in terms of chamber numbers, though, by taking something like this Chaos Gate, or it could be an Erebus Gate in this chamber. This is the last combat chamber, but we can technically add a chamber onto the biome. It doesn't have like this big sweeping effect. You know, it doesn't make the rest of the biomes longer per se, but it doesn't shorten them either. So everything's like a chamber later, but it kind of just isn't a big deal. Basically, we get an extra chaos boon out of it, which is can be kind of powerful if you have the ability to take it. Okay, buddy. Out of these are pretty bad. Dash Nova is a horrible one. Cruel Thrust is not a good one. Flurry Slash is a very particular one that we're probably not going to be able to utilize. I don't actually want to take it. I kind of want to take something that does nothing here out of these. Flurry Slash messes up your dash strikes a bit. I mean, it's hard to describe, but basically your dash strikes don't feel the same, and I tend to utilize it a lot. So there was the final shot, but so we're going to have to get it at a chamber later. It's also nice to take this Chaos Gate, because look, now we have 3 exits to choose from. Extra cast for 23% D-take. We'll do that. Take a free Hermes. What are we selling? What are we selling? We might have to sell either Exposed or that Demeter boon. I don't want to sell Jolted, really. Really don't want to. Might sell Hermes if he gives us a bad boon. Flurry Cast is a fun one to get if we can. Oh, 40%? Yeah. Quick reload is redundant since we're using this aspect that dislodges it for us. I don't want to sell this. That's fun. Flurry Cast, my favorite boon I never get to use, basically. Definitely. So now I don't have to even tap the cast button. I can just hold it down. Then we jump in, special, start holding it down again. Kazam. All right, let me give you at least one FAQ question I can think of. How many hours do I have in Hades, and maybe explain a little bit about that? I haven't looked in a few months, but it's probably 3,100, maybe 3,200 hours. There are players that have more hours than me in the game that I am aware of presently. Players that don't even play the game anymore, so they had more than me a long time ago. I started playing the game when it came out in early access December of 2018. I started recording videos, namely speedruns. I think it was February of 2019, and I kind of just kept that up until I became a full-time streamer in October of 2020. So yes, I've played this game many an hour. What are we selling? Not... how much do I care about that duo boon? Not a lot. Although we don't have Aphrodite in there. How much do we care about getting Parting Shot? I kind of want to highlight the cast, so I'm willing to get rid of this and not get Cold Fusion potentially. In the long term, we still might end up being able to get it. Now we're going to put on Aphrodite's Keepsake, which will hopefully open up being able to get the Parting Shot somewhere down the line. We'll see, though. I'm kind of going for a lot of different things at once, so it could get kind of difficult. Boop. This heat. Second Hermes already, so we could wind up with the Lego. Don't really want the Lego, though. Don't want quick reload either. So what do we want here? Probably just like a defensive is fine. I don't know, I could take the Lego. For moments like this where they just go off into the abyss, right? Oh, there's more? Jeez. You know what? Oh, you know what? A question that comes up with this build all the time, and probably when I skipped Artemis, everyone got very upset about it. Do I roll for the Lego? A blue hyper sprint is tempting. It's very good. exit wounds. Exit wounds. Why don't I want exit wounds? Exit wounds is free real estate. You know, we're dislodging the cast continuously against enemies. And it's actually pretty good in this build. I usually make fun of it. It's pretty good here. It's pretty good, but it's not exactly what I was going for. And then you could go try to segue into the legendary from Artemis 2, and that's good. That's good. It's all good stuff. But I think the trial was still the right move when we did it, I think. I'll roll once. Didn't get it. What can I tell you? All right, I guess we'll take an epic side hustle. We can always sell it.
On to the next one.
We can always sell it. We have to sell something. Hopefully they let us palm the cast here. When do we stop palming something? Well, it depends what that thing is a little bit. For something like a cast boon, there's not really a point where you would say, I've had enough, you know, where you push the plate away. That doesn't really happen with something like a cast boon or even like a dash boon, namely like Splash Dash from Poseidon. It just goes and goes and goes. Sometimes there might be something has more weight to it eventually. But when we are all in on the cast in a build like this, you would just keep doing the cast, you know? If we're using Beowulf and assumedly using the cast well, you're just going to keep doing the cast. It's pretty rare that something's going to overshadow it. Now, if you have Splash Dash in a build, there might be like an attack or a special boon that you're using more than Splash Dash in the sense that you'd want to give that a couple palms to. Long story short, if it adds what we call flat damage, which is kind of like a cast, where the increase is just a very specific amount of damage, which we might be able to show you here. It goes from 231 to 248. That's an increase of 17, right? If that's called flat. If it has flat damage, that's a better palm generally. Whereas if it's, say, an attack or a special boon, and it goes from 80% to 90%, that's not generally as good. It really depends on all sorts of circumstances, but yeah. We did not get offered the shop. That's bad luck. Don't care about that. Let's get Aphrodite in there. That is quite bad luck. Ding. Oh, hold on. I'm not used to that being in that place. Okay, so now Meg's messed up. Oh, Meg still landed. It's fine. Woo! All right, there we go. We just want a core boon from her to enable parting shots. We'll go ahead and take the special. I don't need to spend a roll. Not really interested in the call. Not a personal favorite boon of mine. Would rather just have a special boon probably. We have an extra cast from Chaos now. I probably had it for a bit. Perhaps didn't even notice. So you might notice Zag can kind of cast while dashing. You can kind of interrupt the cast animation, I guess you could say, by dashing. So that way you can kind of squeeze into a few more things. Level 6 on the cast. Let's go. Let's go. We can get a roll. I guess that's what we're gonna do. Come on, where's Zeus? Where's that duo boon? We were all ready for... Oh no, I forgot what it's called. Lightning Phalanx. That's what it's called. All right. Let's go, let's go. Oh. Let's see. Final shop. We can get health for free. Don't think we need it. I really want to get these dual boons going. We do need boons to sell at a minimum still, forever and always. Come on, show me something. Nothing, huh?
I'd like to see more options.
Lightning Phalanx. Let's go. Your Phalanx shot cast bounces between nearby foes. Max bounces 3. So it kind of turns it into the Zeus cast a little bit. It doesn't give it more damage directly. It doesn't, you know, let it apply jolted or anything. It purely allows the cast to bounce. I kind of forgot that I was going for this, and it was probably a good reason to go for the legendary from Hermes. We did kind of, anyway. You're not going to see it bounce unless there's enemies to bounce to, though. Trying to grab these casts. Boo, do, 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 do. Let's let them all spawn in a little bit here. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Ah! Whew, it's fun. It's fun. It's a good one. It's a good one. You get the things for it. It's a fun one. Larney down. Let's go. We're on track. We're doing great. Get out of here. Oh, FAQ number 2. Why don't I pick up the gems? Why don't, and possibly some other things that get left on the ground. I kind of got in the habit of not picking this stuff up because of speedruns. That's why I'm in the habit of not picking it up. Generally, I don't pick it up just because I have no use for it across save files or anything. We kind of still want parting shot. But I don't want to sell the special. You could roll here. Try to sell. Ooh. You could technically sell Jolted or the Dash. I don't think I want to. I guess we'll sell this for now. Maybe it'll come back. Nothing good here, huh? That's too bad. I'm still gonna put on Karen's keepsake. More for fun than anything. I'm not gonna bother buying that though. Money's a bit tighter when we have even just one convenience fee on. But yes. I leave behind the jewels, the gems, the jammy jams, and anything else that is just totally not necessary because they have absolutely no use for me on the save file. And while we're at it, I do have to replace my save file on a regular basis for what they call the real-time speedruns, because the more escape attempts you have on the save file, the longer the load time is for it. So if you want to do a speedrun and you have 1,000 escape attempts on your save file, you are going to be slower than someone with only 100 escaped attempts. So like, you just cannot escape that extra load time. That is just what happens. So unfortunately, my original save file, which has something like 3,000 escaped attempts in it, is not really usable. And it's very obvious with that many attempts too. It's not super obvious in the example that I initially gave, which was only 100 and 1,000 really. But 3,000 versus only 50 escaped attempts, which is what this save file has, it is extremely noticeable. I think it's something like, I don't remember what the numbers were, but if I did like a 3-weapon speedrun, it would be multiple minutes slower just because of load times. So that's why we replace our save file. And you might notice I get this question pretty commonly too. Why don't I have the bond with Persephone from her keepsake? And that is simply because this save file does not come with that bond for whatever the reason. And thus I don't bother to go get it because I have to replace this save file about every other week anyway. It is available on speedrun.com if you are interested in it. Again, it only matters for what they call real-time runs. If you're going by the in-game timer, which is the more popular style of speedrun, then load times do not matter because the timer is paused during that. Come on. Pick it up. Do. So you may have seen me avoid Ares earlier, saying we don't want Ares, and that's gonna be a big part of trying to control your builds here at Hades. You do not want to pick up gods. I don't want to skip the shop here. This is a different thought here. You don't want to pick up gods that you don't want to keep seeing, essentially. And Ares did not fit into this equation at all. Once you pick up a god's boon, they are in what they call your pool, your god pool. You generally get a 4-god pool. There is a couple of exceptions to that, meaning you see those 4 gods throughout the rest of the run and no more. Hermes is not one of those 4 gods. You always get 2 Hermes boons every single run, essentially, unless you get a 3rd one in the Styx shop. I don't want to skip the shop here. This is the middle shop in Elysium, and you will not get another middle shop.
Thank you, mate.
We will. Snowburst is a good boon. Is a good boon. It is. But I'd have more fun going for the duo boons, I guess. All right, we'll get another Athena boon here. We could get Parting Shot. I might also get scammed and get offered Stubborn Roots, which would be unfortunate. I get a lot of people ask me, why don't I like Stubborn Roots? And like, unless I'm doing like a 55 heat run, I just don't need stubborn roots. Why? I just don't have a use for stubborn roots. I would hope I don't have a use for stubborn roots. So I often tease it because I don't need it in runs. You have no death defiance. If you have no death defiances, your health slowly recovers. 1 health every 0.8 seconds. It's definitely useful for beginner players that might be down on death defiances often, but I generally don't have a use for it. I hope not. I hope I don't. I'm willing to throw out 1 roll.
How about a different set of choices?
I don't want to throw out 2 rolls. I'll take that, I guess, as a settle. Let's see if we can get a cold fusion here at least. Could have just taken stubborn roots, huh? Do 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 do. I guess it's a boon where, you know, you can take it under the premise that you may need it. Or you could go for things that would prevent you from needing it, is another way of describing it, right? You could go for things that would prevent you from needing something so defensive. And so circumstantial, like it does literally nothing unless you're on death's door. What do you got this time, Demir? Be kind. Oh my god. Fine, I'll take it. Fine. I talked too much trash, didn't I? Take an extra cast from that well. It's beautiful. Those items are extremely powerful. The items where, especially if you're doing a cast build, you really, really, really want those items that from those wells there. That's why we put on Karen's Keepsake. It's just so useful. Even then, if you're doing a run where you're utilizing your attack a lot, that attack jerky, very powerful item. Same thing with special, because they got the special jerky too. Cast builds are particularly benefited from it because you can get an extra cast stone or you can get extra cast damage, and it's 50% extra damage if you get what they call the Braid of Atlas. 50%! That is a big number. That's a lot. You don't need hammers. Put them back. Especially on swords. There is not really a sword hammer that would very much so benefit. This is when I'm expecting someone to mention something like Curse Slash, and it's like, once again, same thing as Stubborn Roots. I hope I wouldn't need that. I want to put myself in a place where I won't need it. That's what I would prefer to do than to have to rely on something like that. Do-do. Do-do. Ooh, baby. Woo! Woo! Love that flurry cast. I'm just not even getting over it. We will take the shop over the free palm here. Do a boon? Okay, let's buy the palm first.
Cheers, mate.
I didn't get to hit the cast finally. Unfortunate. We have some rolls. Parting shot is kind of upon us, so I'm kind of doing that more. I think Jolted was the correct decision, but it wasn't a fun one. Aha! Your cast gains any bonuses you have for striking foes from behind, and that will account for this Chaos Boon. You deal 78% damage striking foes from behind. I do have to still backstab the enemies, though. There's a quirky bug with Aspect of Hera where it counts as a backstab even though you're facing the enemy. I kind of don't remember. It's been too long. Get behind Theseus a little bit here. Woo! Hey, buddy, you calm down. Kind of taking it easy. One. Two. Baby doll, look at that go. This is slapping right now. This is slapping. So we have one more roll. We have all but one duo boon that we could possibly want. The other one is Cold Fusion. Not super important, but would be fun, I guess. We are selling... Uh-oh. If we want Cold Fusion, we can't sell the dash. Well, that's bad luck, huh? That's not useful. We'll go ahead and grab the health. I guess this is where we're spending our roll here, then. Are you kidding? You gotta be kidding me!
one less.
Oh my god. How could you do this? How could you do this? I'll even do Sigil of the Dead for fun here. It's not the optimal choice. It's the fun choice though. And I'm feeling pretty good about it. Hopefully we'll get exposed back. It was palmed. I could have sold Parting Shot. Maybe instead. Maybe that was better. Yeah, in hindsight, I probably should have sold Parting Shot. And hope to just get that back instead. I think so. Guess I'm not positive. Here we go. Ready?
Always a pleasure, Kate.
Oh, well, Cold Fusion. Oh, right. Parting Shot is not with Demeter. Duh. All right, there we go.
Maybe this one.
There we go. Wait, I don't need Parting Shot. Oh my god, I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. We need Expose. We need Expose. That's what we want. I don't even know the name of the actual boon. I know it's not actually called Expose. I just call it Exposed. Because it exposes our enemies, you know? No, wait, we're in zone. We're in the next zone. Do I have another FAQ? Do I? Bonk, bonk, bonk. Let me think. There's probably got to be something.
This blasted place if we may.
Oh, I got an easy one. This one I'm kind of... I'll be honest, I'm kind of phoning it in. My favorite aspect happens... Do get this question very often. Ah, crap. We didn't get it. I'm sorry. I'll take this. I'm not really worried about dying here, I don't think.
I'll take it.
Dang it. Guess we're upping Jolted there. Oh, we could take the Athena. We might have to. We'll see. Favorite aspect? It's going to be aspect of Hera. It's very fluid. It's a very fun aspect. Has a... you know, has a lot of different variety to it. You can put a lot of different casts on it. It's just very fun, very fast. I enjoy playing the game quickly, as you can imagine at this point in time. Does a lot of things really well. Have a lot of fun playing with it. Wasn't always my favorite, my flavor baby. Hey, I was like point blanking you with that Athena, buddy. Way back in the day, like early access and everything, things were very different. It was a very different game. But I'll spare you the reminisce. Woo! Hey, where'd you go? Cast, level 10, baby. Let's go. All right, so now we're gonna do Athena, and now I'm gonna get exposed again. What was I looking for Aphrodite? I don't know. I guess I'm a little all over the place here. You've probably heard me say this as many times, so many times now if you've watched a few videos. The sack, there's no trick to it. It's just a 56-ish% chance that you get it on the second path. It's only like a 1% chance to get it on the fifth path. It doesn't matter which doors you take, what order you choose to do them in. I just do the mini bosses first because they tend to be easier, faster, and you get better rewards. Do. Whereas you do a room like this, and it keeps going, I tell you. Boo-doo, boom, and exposed. Hey, we got it, only 50%, but here's some more backstab damage, I guess, right? Do I buy that Zoot Spoon? I don't know. Hello, Sack, where are you? I'm being punished, and I don't know why. It's been good. Been a good egg. Blah. But yeah, I was thinking of doing something about the give up mechanism and how you can use it as a casual player. Something I used to use a lot. I don't use it anymore. Ooh, extra backstab damage for the boss. Sounds nice. I'll take that extra health too. Because I think it's a mechanism a lot of people don't understand, or even they're not aware of it, even for the most part. And you might have an idea of what's going on there, but you might not fully understand just how much you can take advantage of it. For speed runs and like generally big challenge runs, it's frowned upon to be using something like that. But when you're just playing for fun, for your own good, it's honestly just a good way to play the game in terms of making the most of your time. Hey, we got 4 duos, huh? You know what? I'll buy this. Ooh, epic double strike. Very nice. I wonder if billowing was better there. Questionable. Maybe. Possibly. Possibly. What do you think? You think we're gonna have a hard time? 4 duo boons? Everything I wanted? Everything I want? Was it everything? I mean, practically, I guess. Of course, there's extreme measures 4.
Oh, don't take it so hard.
I don't know what they're talking about.
To the
Boom. Oh, no, my cast, my beautiful cast. Woo. Gimme, gimme. What do we got? Tombstone. Woo! Oh, he used the darkness on me at the last second. I also messed up that Meg. Sheesh! Let's go, baby. It's slap him. It's slap him. Hold on, backstab. Backstab, backstab, backstab. 1336 per cast. Wait until he's behind. Oh, shit. Hold on. Backstab, 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 backstab. Backstab, 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 backstab. Run! Oh, come on, Dad. Don't finish that. We already phased him, but he still had to cast. Oh, Dad. Hey, how'd you do that? Woo! Sheesh! Honestly, probably one of the best Athena cast runs I've ever had in my life. But also, I haven't done it 1,000 times like some other builds, so... That's fun, you know? How good is Lightning Phalanx? Honestly? Well, if you get all these things, it's amazing. But honestly, it's up there. It's not bad. It's certainly not bad. I think, especially with this aspect, you can have a good time with it. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Show me Flurry Cast, because that's fun. Parting Shots up there. Lightning Phalanx. There's our cast. There's Flurry Cast. Shazam. That's everything, pretty much. I mean, we did have, like, some backstab stuff going on from Chaos and everything. So that's pretty juicy. But, yeah. There you go. And do I have another FAQ at all? Oh, you know what's a big one? People ask, what the heck is Hell Mode exactly? All you need to know is that you have 5 packs of punishment on, in particular, for every single run that you do. At all times, you have to have them on at the minimum. There's also an exclusive pack that appears right here called Personal Liability that gets rid of your iframes. That is all Hell Mode does. You don't miss out on story. You don't do anything else. Nothing else changes besides that simple pact of punishment change. That's why I guess I can't get into Hell Mode right now, of all things, but it's something I think that was kind of a missed opportunity of the game, because I feel like it could have been better. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed it. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.